events are related to the decisions made by the person in the White House and also nearing the policies in the Far East that are worsening. And this is, of course, not happenstance. And the commitments that, of course, Mr. Trump had before becoming a candidate and being elected. That's why the measures of striking the board of the Middle East, once he became a president, he had the first measure to move the embassy to Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, the three biggest monotheistic religions of the world match. And it's not only the people of the Old Testament. This has been debated in the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, where was invited by Joel Sharon. I met Ben-Gurion when he provided his press conference in Montevideo. I was there. I met Shamir when he was here, witness of all the Hebrew community, and Sharon, who was also here. And he said that he was expected to have a bad time in the BBC and CBS, but not here. But Walter seems to know about what's happening in the Middle East. I want him to come home. And that's not a talisman. I will show his business card and his private number. When I arrived, he was facing some struggle, but the Hebrew University, and let's remember this statement that I have remembered forever. We, the young, we are the ones who are going to be killed by the wars that you, the old, are creating. Why are you speaking here? This for international guests. Well, I was born here. I come from here, and the person from Venezuela is telling the truth. Well, I wasn't again invited, but we told the truth. However, we still love them. Let's take a look at the events in full development. And about this issue, we're going to see the situation that's an international news in our country. This is a clear example. We have a brief summary of the electoral campaign with Nicolas Maduro and Frente Amplio, and these are events in full development. The phrases in development and full development are phrases that are legally registered in the production of the show Dossier. They don't belong to Telesur. Presidential candidate for Frente Amplio de la Patria, Nicolas Maduro, continues with his electoral campaign for the election on May 20th, and these are the international news shown by every media. The election will take place on May 20, where the President of the Republic will be elected, as well as the member of the legislative councils of each one of the states. The President and candidate has been through different states of Venezuela since the campaign started on April 22nd. Maduro started his campaign in the state of Bolívar on April 23rd, and there was a massive movement in Barinas, where Hugo Chavez was born. A day after, he brought his message of peace to the state of Tamacuro and Carabobo, where he was welcomed by seas of people, as someone mentioned in those states. Last Friday, he was in Mérida and then in Coro Falcón, where he mentioned that voting is a necessary tool for our democracy and for the peace of our country. The traditional Avenue Bolívar that's hosting this event of Nicolas Maduro before the elections on May 20th. Revolutionary forces of Venezuela went to the streets of Caracas on Thursday, the capital, to provide their support to the candidate of Frente Amplio de la Patria, Nicolas Maduro, in his campaign closure for the elections to be held on May 20th. Once again, We're supporting Maduro on May 20. Here we are for him. We love you. Once again, the people spoke, and once again their idea is this: we will be together and win. I don't have any commitment with any economic group. I don't have any commitments with mafias. My only commitment is with the people, the working people, the humble women, the homes of the nation. My only commitment is with the people, with the working people, with the people that dream about a better future. I am prepared, Miranda. In Venezuela, we're going to win for the dignity of our nation. Let's go, Venezuela. Let's win, because Venezuela depends on us. Depends on the youngest, on the oldest ones. Venezuela, let's win for joy, for education, for culture of our children. I tell you, let's go. Let's go, Valle del Tuy. Let's go, Miranda. Let's win. Let's win on May 20th. Let's triumph. You can enroll, and the day where you will vote, you can say, I have already voted. I have fulfilled my civic duty. President of the National Electoral Council of Venezuela denounced the aggression of certain governments against the country to impede the elections on May 20th. Maduro is peace. Nicolas, the son of Chavez. Loyalty, resistance, freedom. This is Nicolas Maduro. Nicolas is loyalty for the revolutionary process, loyalty to the legacy of our commander, Hugo Chavez Frias. I don't have any commitments with any thieves. I have only commitments with the people, with the working people. I know that we need a lot of economic changes to transform the structure of the economy. I am ready. I am prepared. And if you elect me as the president on Sunday, May 20th, I will lead great changes in the economy, great changes of the revolution for the growth and prosperity of Venezuela. Valencia, Carabobo, I love you. Valencia, Carabobo, I tell you from my heart, to victory. We will win. We will triumph. We will triumph.
Hoy saben en todo el mundo que este 20 de mayo el ganador es Maduro. Del Zulia hasta Cumaná de Apuria del Tabacuro, por pueblos y caseríos se escucha un rumor muy duro, que este 20 de mayo el ganador es Maduro. El domingo 20 de mayo.
On Sunday, May 20th, we have to vote, all of us, on May 20th. Because Sunday will decide what will happen in this country during the next 30 years. If Venezuela will be a colony, or Venezuela will be a nation, a sovereign nation and free. Anzoátegui has a great agricultural potential in the south, in Guanipe and beyond. Anzoátegui has a great strength and potential for oil, for petrochemicals, for refining. We need to retrieve PDVSA from the hands of the mafia that harmed it during the last years. Let's cleanse PDVSA. This is our phrase, our word. We will bring him to presidency on Sunday. So, in the name of God and Chavez, Maduro, you will be president again of our nation. On May 20, we are certain that we will vote for the Bolivarian Revolution with 10 million votes for loyalty of Commander Chavez. Don't stay home. Go and vote to demonstrate that in Venezuela there is democracy. Women must participate because due to revolution, we now have a constitution for us. On May 20, the youth supports Nicolas Maduro.
Y ya está aquí, portuguesa.
La histórica marcha de la Diana
The historic
Carabobo.
march of Carabobo.
Sí, sí.
Let's support our president, Nicolas Maduro. He is a president that governs as it should. He supports, and here we are, everywhere, supporting you for your great victory. Always progressing president, and on May 20, you will once again become the president. We're with you. Candidate Nicolas Maduro thanked the loyalty of the people. It is impressive to see, after so much economic war, how the people has endured. And it is impressive to see thousands and thousands of people on the streets welcoming President Maduro and telling him, Maduro, present, the people is with you. It is impressive to see all the youth, to see the women here, everywhere. I have a plan for Venezuela. Those who support Chavez have a plan for our nations. We do. Only us can take command and dream about a new hope. Dream about the economic renaissance. Dream about the thriving of our great Venezuela. Dream about Venezuela as a power that will come from the efforts of all of you. If you elect me as president on Sunday, May 20th, for the term 2019-2025, with the power granted by you, will make a great economic revolution for peace and prosperity and the joy of these people. And I swear this against you, I swear this in front of you, and I will fulfill this, people of Guayana. So I count on you. There is no other option to do it. Only together we can move forward. righting the wrongs that have been made, getting rid of the corrupt. We must fight against the criminal mafias that harm the economy of the people.
A Nicolás no le gana ni que le suba el conjuro. Cuando mi pueblo pa'lante poco a poco y siga puro. Al demonio del imperio se le puso el mundo oscuro. Pues duélale a quien le duele el presidente. ¡Es Maduro! ¡Maduro!
Sube la mano, panita, baila sombrero en la pista porque vamos a ganar. Oe, oe, sube la mano, panita, baila sombrero en la pista porque vamos a ganar. ¡Vamos, Nico! ¡Vamos, Nico! ¡Vamos, Nico! ¡No escucho! ¡Qué molleja y concentración!
Wow, that's a crowd.
Más allá del puente,
it goes beyond the bridge. It goes beyond the road.
El oeste Maracaibo de punta a punta.
The west of Maracaibo, from end to end. Whether it rains, whether it shines, the people will vote at 5 a.m. when they listen to Diana Carabobo. Those who want a nation, come with me. Those who have already voted, get at least one, and bring them to vote as well. Because the goal of the Zulia state is to get 1 million votes for the nation. And then those who had already voted. Next to him, Diego Armando Maradona, the greatest star of world football. Welcome, Diego Armando Maradona, to the nation of Bolívar.
Sube la mano, panita, baila sombrero en la pista, porque vamos a ganar. Oe, oe, sube la mano, panita, baila sombrero en la pista, porque vamos a ganar. Oe, oe, y todos juntos. Somos venezolanos, somos seres conjuntos, a nuestro presidente que sobrevive los barrios, deporte por el pueblo que está y solidario. Todos con Maduro. Hasta el futuro y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro, todos con Maduro. Y hasta el futuro y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro, todos con Maduro. Y hasta el futuro y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro, todos con Maduro. Y hasta el futuro y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro. ¡Arriba, arriba! ¡Sube la mano, panita! ¡Se desbordó Caracas! ¡Se desbordó de amor! ¡Sube la mano, panita! Porque vamos a ganar. ¡Sube la mano, panita! Que vamos con Nicolás. Muéstrale tus manos al protector de la patria, Caracas.
Ya lo dijo el comandante, pleno como luna llena. Nicolás Maduro, conductor de las victorias, va guiando a Venezuela por la paz y por la gloria. Por eso es que ahora tenemos la fortaleza de contar con la nobleza.
Ahí está Diego Armando Maradona.
That's Diego Armando Maradona with the flag of Venezuela.
¡Arriba, arriba! ¡Vamos! Todos con Maduro, y hasta el futuro y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro. Todos con Maduro, y hasta el futuro y el
Hacia adelante. Sube la mano, panita, baila sobre nuestra pista, porque vamos a ganar. Oe, oe, sube la mano, panita, baila sobre nuestra pista, porque vamos a ganar.
¡Bienvenido, Pelusa!
Y todos juntos. Somos Venezuela, el triunfo será conjunto. A nuestro presidente que cobra video barrio, el protector del pueblo y solidario. Todos con Maduro, de hasta el futuro y el pueblo.
Mientras tanto, los
In
representantes
the
de los
meantime,
organismos
representatives
electorales
of the
de diversos
electoral
países y las misiones que
organization of
integran el
different
plan de
countries and the minister of
acompañamiento
part of the
seguían
accompany
paso a
plant
paso el proceso en
are
Venezuela.
guiding the process in Venezuela.
El pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro, todos con Maduro, lealtad y futuro, y el pueblo manda con Maduro, eso es seguro. ¡Arriba la palma, Venezuela! ¡Dale, apa! Por todita Venezuela tenemos blindado un muro, del Táchira a la Guayana, del Zulia, del Tamacuro, con el petro respaldado, gas, petróleo y oro puro, con 10 billones fue el buche, el presidente es Maduro, por ser un hombre de paz, humilde, noble y seguro, si podemos somos más, los gritos firmes y bien duros, no le vamos a entregar el país a esos amuros, porque este 20 de mayo el presidente es... ¡El presidente es... ¡Maduro!
Que suene la voz del pueblo.
Let's listen to the voice of the people.
Que se escuche la voz del pueblo.
Let us listen to the voice of the people.
Que se escuche una sola voz.
Let us listen a single voice.
Hemos llegado a esta avenida
We
Bolívar,
have reached Avenue Bolivar
con el pueblo otra vez al frente,
with the people once again in front,
con el pueblo otra vez en la
with the people
vanguardia.
once again standing here in Venezuela.
Si no fuera por la conciencia
If it
de este
weren't
pueblo,
for the consciousness of
no
these people,
existiera revolución
there
en
weren't
Venezuela, en
revolutions.
porque hay pueblo
There's a revolution
revolucionario,
in Venezuela
porque hay
because there's a
pueblo
revolutionary
consciente.
people, because there's a conscious people.
Lo he visto a lo largo y ancho del país,
I've seen this throughout the whole country,
desde Tucupita hasta Cabima,
from Tucupita to Cabima,
desde Cabima hasta Puerto Ayacucho,
from Cabima to Puerto Ayacucho,
de San Félix a
from San
Maracaibo,
Félix to Maracaibo,
de Coro a Catia,
from Coro to
de
Catia,
Calabozo a
from
Barinas.
Calabozo to Barinas.
Lo he visto.
I've seen it.
Hoy puedo decir después de
Today,
esta campaña
I can
electoral,
say that after this electoral campaign of 25 days,
recorriendo todo el territorio nacional,
going through all the national
puedo
territory,
decir,
I can tell
estoy
you,
más consciente,
I am
estoy más
aware,
claro
I am
de qué
clear
es lo que hay que enfrentar
of
en
the needs
Venezuela,
of what we
y
need to
estoy
face
muy
in
claro
Venezuela, and
que
it's clear
cuento
for
con
me
el apoyo
that
de
I
este
have the
pueblo
support of
valiente,
this brave
de este
people,
pueblo amoroso,
of this
de este
loving
pueblo
people,
grandioso
of this
que
great
educó nuestro
people
comandante Chávez.
that was created by our commander Chavez.
Estoy más consciente que nunca
I am more aware than
del
ever
amor que tiene nuestro pueblo
of the
infinito.
love of our people, endless love.
Estoy más consciente que
I am
nunca
aware now more than
de
ever
cómo se ha elevado la
of
conciencia,
how our consciousness has
de cómo
rose,
se ha elevado la organización.
how organizations have
He
rose.
visto con mis ojos
I've seen with my own eyes
24 elecciones
24 elections
de las 23 anteriores.
out of the 23 before me.
La revolución ha ganado
The
con el voto
revolution
del pueblo.
won with the vote of the people.
21 elecciones
21
de manera
elections
digna.
in a dignified way and with overwhelming results.
Hemos perdido dos
We've lost two
dolorosas.
painful losses.
2007,
2007, the election of the constitutional reform.
la perdimos por una
We lost
vainita así.
just for a tiny percentage. Small, tiny bit. This size. But Commander Chavez said, we've lost. We've lost the elections of the referendum for the reform, and I acknowledge that we have lost. The story continues, and this is what happened. History continued with the revolution. In 2015, it was my opportunity. There was a deep economic war in 2015. Part of the people were confused and didn't vote. It was a mistake, indeed. While others were also confused and voted for their own killers, for their executioners, for their enemies. Huh. You imagine what it means to vote for the enemies of the people. Big mistake, big mistake. And they defeated us. They won the elections with the current electoral system, with the same National Electoral Council, with the same people. And I was out there 1 minute. 1 minute after the official results of the National Electoral Council to say, I acknowledge the victory of the opposition of Venezuela. The counter-revolution has triumphed for today. I said this, didn't I? Dignified. I was willing to accept this. I wasn't ashamed. I wasn't screaming or fraud. I wasn't in an embassy asking the gringos to help me because I lost. No, I'm not a coward. I was out there telling the truth and calling for the union of the people and calling the people for the struggle. I fulfilled with my commitment against the people. Now we're gonna do it. Now, women, here we are for you, the youth. Now. And the people of Venezuela, they are the voice of God on earth. Nicolas Maduro Moros will be the next president of the Republic for the term 2019-2025. This will be our future of glory, of fight. I have seen the future in you. With your energy, with your commitment, with the combat of the people to create a nation. I've witnessed the future with the strength never moved in the supreme fate of the people of Venezuela. Because I've said this before, and I do this. You must love Venezuela. You must believe in Venezuela. You must love the Venezuelan people. And we need to believe in the strengths, in the forces that have created the people of Venezuela. We need to believe in our people. We need to believe in our people. As those who trust their own children, those who raise their own daughter, their granddaughter, with love, with faith. When you raise a son or a grandchildren, you give them the best of you, don't you, women? And men as well. When you raise the future, you give them all of your love. You teach them the best examples. You give them the best education. You give them all the protection and care and give them a blessing daily for them to be protected by God. That's how we need to take care and look after Venezuela. We need to believe in Venezuela. We all create Venezuela, all of us. Only together we can build a nation. There are many achievements on housing infrastructure that need to be consolidated. There are many achievements with culture, with national identity. There are many achievements with employment, with job stability, with defense of the workers. There are many achievements in technological progress, scientific progress as well, that must be consolidated. There are many achievements in the retrieval of the national economy, but we still have a long way to go. And I see the road after May 20, and I want to share this with you, friends. I want to share with you, with all my love. I see our nation with a great victory on May 20th. Nothing can stop it now. Imperialism tried to avoid the elections with foreign threats, and they were unable to do it, and they will never be able to do it. They tried to stop the elections with coups, and they failed. They were unable and will never be. They tried to stop the elections. They attempted to use a military group for a coup d'etat, and they were unable to do so, and they will never be able to do it because the armed forces are together with the people. They are committed to the nation. This is a brief summary of the presidential campaign for Frente Amplio de la Patria of Nicolas Maduro, presidential candidate of Frente Amplio de la Patria. The campaign continues for the elections of May 20th, where the president will be elected as a member of the State Council. This is a whole renewal of the people for this. And the candidate has been through different states of Venezuela since the campaign started on April 22nd. And if this is not a crowd, what is? A day after, he brought his message of peace to Delta, to Peru, and to Carabobo as well. And let's listen to the continuity of other events on today's agenda. They are telling the people that they don't acknowledge the people of Venezuela. And as the voice of the people, I tell him, Juan Manuel Santos, screw you. We don't care about what you think or what the oligarchy of Bogotá think about the people of Venezuela. We don't care. Screw you, Santos. Here, the people of Venezuela rule, not the oligarchy of Venezuela, of Bogotá. Here, we rule and elect with the people of Venezuela freely. And we will do so on Sunday, May 20th. And after May 20th, we have a beautiful task ahead of us. Here I have Plan de la Patria, the Plan for the Nation 2025, to guide the construction of Venezuela from here to 2025 and forth. To have a great economic change widely needed in our nation. Here I have the plan, the nation's plan for 2025, to guide our efforts. Traditional Avenue Bolívar, hosting the last electoral act of Nicolas Maduro before the elections on May 20th. And the revolutionary force of Venezuela went to the streets of Caracas to support President of Frente Amplio de la Patria. The campaign closure for the presidential elections on May 20th. Once again, Chavism. Fighting, and this was a brief summary of the campaign of Frente Amplio de la Patria. And the candidate Nicolas Maduro continued his campaign for the election May 20, where the president will be elected as well as the members of the regional and state councils. The candidate has been through different states of Venezuela since his campaign started on April 22nd. In a conference with Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, he told me that on behalf of the people of Turkey, he wanted to greet the people of Venezuela and he wished us success on the elections of Sunday. We signed an agreement, a strategic agreement, for the development of the joint economy between Turkey and Venezuela. Turkey is a country with a great industrial, economic, technological, and scientific development, and they want to support Venezuela in its economic recovery. We have already started with our plans of recovery with Turkey, as well as with China, Russia, Belarus, Iran, India. The new world that has raised, and we are connected to them strongly. That's why I tell Venezuela, let us believe in our nation. We need to trust, we need to believe in Venezuela. We need to love our nation. We need to believe in the future and the present and vote. And we need to believe in the future of the achievements that will be opened with the victory of May 20. I call for faith, for trust in Venezuela. I call, I even call those who don't like us. I call those who hate us. I have an ideal. As it was stated, Erdogan and Maduro had a video conference. 318 containers with food and medicines on May 20 will be delivered to Venezuela. President of Turkey, Erdogan, ensured that on May 20, 318 containers will arrive in Venezuela. Sunday, May 20. We all must vote. Because we will decide what will happen in this country during the next 30 years. If Venezuela will become a colony, or Venezuela will be a nation, a sovereign and free nation. Anzoátegui has a great cultural potential. But also, this person standing here, the one that you all know. You know me, don't you? You know me well. Do you trust me? The person in front of you has learned his lesson. His full lesson during 5 years. Today, I'm no longer the rookie candidate 5 years ago I was. Today, I'm a president with experience, with expertise. I'm a real president, ready for all battles, ready for all the duels for victory. Maradona says, yes, sir. And I call Venezuelans. Do you believe that Henry Falcón has the ideas, the project, the team to make the changes needed in Venezuela? Do you believe that he has the reasons and the notion to direct this nation? He doesn't. He doesn't have any. Henry Falcón doesn't have this. He also thought about the brilliant idea of saying that if he would become president of the Republic, he would give the country to the IMF. Would you allow the country to become a colony of the International Monetary Fund? Take a look at Argentina, see how they're doing, facing a crisis. And who's to blame? Mauricio Macri. Rubbish. Now, Argentina granted again to the IMF after Néstor Kirchner freed it from the claws of the World Bank and the IMF. You want this for Venezuela? We need to join our forces. We need to bring together our morale of all our nation. That's why I'm saying this, because I believe this. It is because you're beautiful. If it weren't due to how aware you are of the events, women and men of my nation, if it weren't for the people, there would have never been here in Venezuela a revolution as great as the one founded by our commander Chavez. If any journalist of any international chain is wondering why, after so many things said about Venezuela in the world, all the surveys show that Nicolas Maduro will win widely the elections. Why then? Why is the people on the streets by millions? The answer, look at in the consciousness, in the soul, and in the spirit, the revolutionary and rebel spirit of these people that every day in the street fights with the truth. This is the answer. This is a brief summary of the presidential campaign of Frente Alto de la Patria with Nicolas Maduro. Candidate of Frente Amplio de la Patria continues with his campaign for the elections on May 20th, where the President of the Republic will be elected as well as members of the councils of the states. The candidate has been through different states of the country since his campaign started on April 22nd. Maduro started his campaign on the state of Bolívar on April 23rd, and that same day he was welcomed by a lot of people in Barinas, the land of Hugo Chavez. Let me remind you, comrades, friends, in this avenue, Bolívar Avenue, many avenues are filled with people today. Caracas is filled with people, the Lacuna Avenue, the Universidades, with a lot of people. Caracas overcrowded with people once again. This is of course a symptom of victory. Victory is imminent, people of Venezuela, and we need to get our victory on May 20th. The victory is imminent, beloved people. Be prepared. The President of the Electoral Council of Venezuela, Divisa y Lucena.
Realmente es un placer.
It is a real pleasure.
En nombre de las mujeres
on behalf of
y de
women
los hombres que trabajamos en el
and
poder
men who
electoral,
work in the electoral
darles hoy
power
nuestra más cordial bienvenida.
to welcome you today.
Asimismo,
Likewise,
expresamos nuestra más
we
calurosa
show our
gratitud a
warmest
este nutrido grupo
gratitude
que de
to
todas
this
partes del
group
mundo han venido a ver
that
nuestro proceso
has
electoral
come
de
to
este
see our electoral
domingo
process from all the parts of the
20
world
de
that will take
mayo.
place on Sunday, May 20th.
Tenemos aquí presente en nuestro programa
Here in our
electoral
electoral program,
representantes,
we have
académicos,
representatives, people
políticos,
from the academia, politicians,
intelectuales,
intellectuals,
periodistas,
journalists,
personalidades
and
de
different
América
characters of
Latina,
Latin
de
America,
Europa,
of Europe,
de África,
of Africa,
de Asia,
of
del
Asia,
Caribe,
of the Caribbean,
América del Norte,
North
para
America,
un total de
adding
más
it
de
to a
150
total of over
personas
150
que
people
han llegado y otros
who
que
have
están
arrived
por
here,
venir
while
en las
others are
próximas
about
horas
to get here
para
during the
acompañarnos
next
en
hours
este 20 de mayo
to
a
be
este
with us on May
proceso
20th in the
electoral.
electoral process.
Aquí tenemos políticos, como dije,
Here we have
periodistas,
politicians,
altos
journalists,
representantes políticos y de
representatives
gobierno,
of different
organismos
governments,
electorales,
electoral
parlamentarios,
organizations,
académicos,
members of the parliament, members of the
grupos
academia,
también
and other groups amongst which there are religious people, special guests, lawmakers, organizations, NGOs, a very big and diverse group, a very important and interesting group that has accepted our invitation to be with us, to accompany us in this electoral process that is so important for us.
На землю дружеского для России государства.
With the invitation of the CNE, the Russian delegation has arrived to the friendly land of Venezuela.
У нас очень хорошие политические, экономические отношения, складывается своя история и в сфере избирательного права.
This is Vasily Alexievich, ambassador of Russia and member of the Electoral Commission of Russia, who mentioned that he will exercise his role for the accompaniment and the regulations of Venezuela with all the respect required. We'll work by respecting the independence of the country based on democracy.
На самом деле делегация значительно больше. Это весь российский народ, который желает успеха в вашей электоральной кампании 20 числа.
But really, this delegation is bigger. This delegation is made of all the Russian people who wish all the success on May 20th for the elections.
Thank you for asking Africa to come.
Among the international members accompanying the Venezuelan elections, we have the ambassador Arikando Chimborikwao, who is the representative of the mission of the African Union for the elections to be held on Sunday, where the President of the Republic will be elected, as well as the members of the Legislative Council of the country. She mentioned witnessing a process that in March 22 electoral process that have been held democratically is a great privilege for us. I love the history of this country, the way in which you work with the elections openly, and I think that on May 20 there will be free and fair elections, and the African continent is with you.
Que se han llevado a cabo de manera democrática constituye para nosotros un gran privilegio.
This is a great privilege for us.
With the short time that I've been in Venezuela so far, I like what I see, and with what I know of the history of Venezuela, I know that on the 20th of May, we are going to have elections that are free and fair.
Luego, en mi corto periodo de tiempo
in the short time that I have been here in Venezuela, I love what I see. I love the history of this country, and I am sure that on May 20th in Venezuela there will be free and fair elections. Now we're going to sign the agreement.
Adelante, los ministros.
Please go ahead, ministers.
Por nosotros firma el ministro
On behalf of us, Finance Minister Simon Serpa,
que ya casi es turco porque se la
who
pasa
is
allá en
almost
Turquía.
Turkish because he's been in Turkey for a long time.
Ekonomi Bakanımız ilk imzayı atıyor. O kadar çok Türkiye'ye gidiyor ki
Erdogan y Maduro sostuvieron
Erdogan and Maduro had a video conference. 319 containers with food and medicines will be delivered to Venezuela on May 20th. And during the teleconference with the President of the Republic, Nicolas Maduro, he informed that the products have all the essentials required for their consumption: oil, tuna, powdered milk, and all the containers were held in Panama due to the diplomatic impasse with the Central American nation. So this should have been delivered before, but it was retained in Panama due to orders of whom? President, this is for the development of the relationship between Turkey and Venezuela to a strong relationship, a powerful one.
sağladığımız anlaşmalar.
Bu anlaşmalarımız hayırlı olsun.
Videoconferencia con el mandatario turco.
Video conference with the president. There's a delay due to satellite. May God bless Turkey and Venezuela.
Allah Türkiye'yi korusun, Allah Venezuela'yı korusun.
Amin.
Amén. Gracias, presidente.
Amen. Thank you, President.
Hasta la victoria siempre. Gracias.
To victory
Turquía,
always.
gracias.
Thank you, Turkey. This is the video conference with the announcements. These are elections that have faced ferocious attacks since it began. We must mention this today in front of this group of different people of many countries that are with us today. Ever since the elections were summoned, from that point the attacks began of different governments that have pretended and attempted to suspend the elections. And if not, the whole world will not acknowledge it under the assumptions of false and fake arguments. This is something that has never been supported with real arguments because all the issues have been political. And I can tell you that as the day has gotten closer to us, these attacks have worsened. However, we need to say we are facing a great amount of international violence attempting to stop the elections on May 20th, on Sunday, to stop them from happening. Authorities of the Electoral National Council have been sanctioned. Foreign governments in an incredible fashion have attempted to give orders to suspend the elections. And the last thing we saw yesterday that surprised us and has also enraged us, the case of Canada, that forbid and it stated that elections of Venezuelans in Canadian territory will not be held. These are countries that are supposedly democratic, taking measures that are against democracy and that violate the political rights that in Venezuela, the political rights are acknowledged as human rights. We also tell you, as this electoral power, the National Electoral Council in Venezuela, this is not an institution governed. This is a public power established in the Constitution. And as we exclusively do what is mandated in the Constitution and the law, and what has come from the sovereign will of the people of Venezuela with their vote, we will not get orders from any other country. Au contraire, we will ensure that, as we've always done, all the Venezuelans in our territory and abroad will be able to exercise the right to vote. Very important, Bolivia ensures that Venezuela stops the domination of the United States. And Álvaro García Linera, Vice President of the Plurinational State of Bolivia, highlighted that Venezuela stops the intentions of overthrowing democracy in Latin America. The only thing not allowing the United States to wipe out all the democracy and equality, as well as the well-being of the humble people in the American continent, is the hold set by Venezuela. In Venezuela, our fate is at stake, the whole of Latin America, as it happened 210, 215 years before. This is just a replica. This is another installment of those moments where the destiny of the continent was defined by the liberation armies. And today, the fate of Latin America, progressive and popular America, is defined with what will happen during the next days, the next weeks, and next months in Venezuela. So Venezuela is once again, without wanting to do so, without looking for it, they have to be in charge of the fate of the continent. And as it happened before, they're not alone. They're not alone. This is not the best of times in the continent, but there are forces. We are here. We are in Ecuador. We are in other countries, in Brazil, in Argentina, in Paraguay, in Uruguay. From the government, from the outside of the government, from the civilian society, becoming part of this strategy to resist and to protect the dignity of the workers. And we will win this battle. We will win again. It will be hard. It will have problems, but we will win again. Because this is the fate of humanity. This is the fate of humanity. It is not justice, domination. This is the destiny of human beings, of free humans. So even though this is a very hard battle to fight, sooner rather than later, the stories will be once again told and flags will be once again raised when we recount the stories of our people. Let it be so then. We have a problem from the source that affects it. We don't know if it comes from the source or from any intermediary. It, of course, affected the expression of our brother from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. So, as it often happens, we need to do the things that you need to do when you are the producer and when you don't need to have a script. Because let me assure you that the way in which we change the program wasn't going with minor difficulties come from sources that are not ours. Were, of course, reasons to become nervous, but this doesn't happen here because we don't depend on a script. We know our concepts, we work with them, and as a producer, I excuse myself against you. These are fails from the source, but the message has been clear. We'll be back again when our beloved, polluted, and unique spacecraft had taken another turn about its imaginary axis. And we are back here telling you the small story of the next 24 hours. From the Studio 3 of Venezolana Televisión, the pioneering channel of Venezuelan television, heir of TVN5 of Cerro Marin, where I started working, here I conclude Dossier, the Douyin of the Western Hemisphere of international satellite information. This was your host and producer, Walter Martinez. Thank you for allowing us to be there with you. Director, the floor is all yours.